So I've had the stuff out of the French press. I've had pour over, and I don't think I've had espresso for. I know.
Espresso, not
Espresso.
X.
No, there's no X in
And not
espresso.
the X. There's no X. God damn it. Hi everyone, you're listening to episode 3 of And Whose Fault Is That? Originally aired November 20th, 2023. Enjoy. Greetings, fellow peasants. No, that's not nice, is it?
Yeah, we
no, we
can't.
should try.
I know we were talking about naming the chat, but I don't know if peasants.
Peasants. Imagine troglodytes. No. I kid. I joke. I'm just grateful everybody is still here after a week that we skipped, right? So it's Monday, November 20th. We're at a new episode here of And Whose Fault Is That? Phil's got a lineup of conversations that I'm looking forward to hearing about because I can't really discern what the hell it is. I have Change is Weird, Creature of Immeasurable Habit, and Is That a Manhattan? Are You Just Happy to See Me? By all means, Phil.
Yeah.
I'm already exhausted because I did the introduction. I'm still feeling COVID, so
oh yes, that's
lay
right.
it
I
on
mean,
me.
our delay and missed episodes is, apparently your dentist's secret menu involved COVID.
I should have been like, "Do you have
Yeah.
a secret menu?"
No,
They
yeah, I
would
was
have been
gonna
like,
say,
"Yeah,
no,
just flip it around." Disease.
yeah, this isn't like the In and Out. It's not. You can't just order like something animal style. You just have to assume that.
I know. I just knocked me on my ass, and then obviously, Jake got it, or also known as beef for people that are familiar with the community.
Oh,
Yeah,
he got it too. That
yeah,
sucks.
yeah. I mean, both of us on our asses. And yesterday I tested negative, and he tested positive. So, happy Thanksgiving. Okay.
I still trying to wrap my head around how at the early stages of COVID, my mom got it. I don't know which, it was like the second or third flavor of the COVID process.
Yeah,
And
one of the crons. Yeah.
yeah, my dad accepted his fate and was like, well, guess I'm getting sick too. And nope, somehow didn't happen.
No way.
Didn't sleep in a different room with her or anything like that. Just like took care of her and all that stuff, and somehow still just completely dodged that bullet. And like, what is happening here? Tested positive, whole 9 yards. And yeah,
I almost didn't even test for COVID. I just felt like shit. And I went, wait a minute, COVID exists. And so I got tested, and it was very evidently positive. And I had one of those 2-in-1 kits.
Immediately.
Yeah, it just started glowing, like, the press showed up at the door, like, it was really, like, blatantly obvious that I had it, and I was like, holy fuck. Excuse me. And this was Veterans Day. And then a couple hours later, like, he was mimicking the same symptoms that I had previously, which is, he's like, my throat hurts a little bit, and I was like, you need to get tested too. And he had it faintly, but he had it as well. So it's just been, like, 4 days of pillows, farts, and washing the sheets. Like, it's just sleeping, disinfecting everything, sleeping, disinfecting everything.
Yeah.
And no appetite, no taste, nothing. I only got my taste back like yesterday. And let me tell you, that coffee, I almost cried.
Like a newborn baby.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, how was your week sans COVID?
Yeah, week was good. I did maintenance on the child's car. Productive week. Just doing stuff like that. Cleaning the garage. Controlling a small space. I think we talked about this at once upon a time.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of controlling small spaces, last week, well, actually, let's talk about in reverse order. So,
okay, so are we starting with the
no,
Manhattan
no,
in
we're
your
starting.
pocket?
No,
Okay.
we're gonna go with the creature of immeasurable habit. So,
Okay.
what had happened is that people think this is weird, but things like a haircut, I don't want to think about.
Mm-hmm.
So 14 and a half years ago, when I moved here from Arizona, I found the first, I should back up a couple of years. I, for the longest time, would just walk into any haircut place that just happened to be nearby.
Yeah, like
and I always
super
felt like
cuts
it was,
or whatever,
yes,
a barber
and
shop.
I always felt like I may as well just walk into a casino and play the roulette table, because it was a maybe I'll get a good haircut, or maybe I'll just be self-conscious for the next month.
Yeah.
And finally, after years of doing this, it was suggested by someone in my life that maybe I should try one notch up and actually go to a regular place with a regular name that didn't begin with the words super or great. And um, so committed, took a shot, got amazing results, and kept going there for the entire time we lived in Arizona. And then when it was time to move to Philadelphia, I what? Oh, did
What a
I?
burden for you, huh?
Yes,
Like,
I
what
know.
am I
When it was,
supposed to do?
I'm like, so I tell the lady who's cutting my hair back then the situation, and she's like, "Oh, I got you," and she like literally writes a postcard with instructions how to cut my hair, and sends me out into the world like some sort of
Oh,
orphan with a rope around my neck and a knapsack and this little postcard with instructions of how to take care of me.
yeah.
And so I walk into this salon here in Pennsylvania
Mhm.
14 and a half years ago, and with my postcard, it's like, please take pity on me and adopt me.
It's a
And
number 2.5. Do you have such a weapon? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
and and this sweet woman, Katie, looks at it and chuckles and then tears it in half and goes, "I got you," and sits down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so I have, and again, creature of immeasurable habit. It was just like very quickly. It was like, okay, so like this just has to happen every 4 to 5 weeks. And their receptionist up front, super nice lady. Also, I'm like, I can't remember. It's just one day. I think she just asked me. She's like, "Hey, did you just want me to like
Book
auto
everything in
schedule these
advance.
for you?"
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be awesome." She's like, "Cool. How far out?" And I'm like, "Till the end of the
Time.
time." And she's like, "Cool, I got you." And so that's the way it's been. It's just basically she books me like a year out, and I never have to think about it. The only time that things get like in the way is just like if there's a vacation or sickness or something. But
Yeah.
generally, it's like no. I take the point of view that if it's in my calendar, well, then that's that. It's there ahead of time because I don't know. I've run into people in my life that, oh, I don't know if I can put that on the calendar. I don't know what I'm going to be doing 6 weeks out.
You're like, I know what I'm gonna be doing.
No,
I
but
have
like,
a
what's
haircut.
yeah? But it's like, but what if you actually put that 6 weeks out? That's the thing you're doing
You're
6 weeks
doing,
out.
yeah, yeah.
It's empty now. Fill it.
Fill it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know. Like it's a Monday at 5 o'clock. I'll just show up there.
But dude, it's one less fucking thing you have to think about.
Yes.
It's done. It's taken care of. I know it's
But
it could be
so,
something
I know
silly.
it just seemed weird because I've mentioned that to people even most recently, and they're like, "But why?" I'm like, "Because I
Just
don't have to
fucking
think about it."
Exactly.
It's
I get
kind
it.
of like how you order. Like some of these people personally will order toilet paper on a subscription, and you're like, well, "Why'd you order the toilet paper on an
That's
Amazon Prime
me.
subscription?" Because you don't have to fucking think about it.
Also, I totally messed up my toilet paper order and I ordered paper towels and now we have paper towels for the next 25 years because I forgot and I clicked on the wrong button. Go back to your
I'm saying those
thing.
are not flushable wipes.
No, we have paper towels now for the next fucking like small future. Like we're good till
I
2028.
can imagine you ever get guests for Thanksgiving. They're like, "Why is there a roll of paper towels on the
So we don't do
radiator?"
napkins here. We stopped doing
Listen,
that.
I
Yeah,
need to get rid of these somehow.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think
So,
you've ever done Thanksgiving while being also quilted quickly picked her upward, so don't worry about it. Okay, so
yeah.
haircuts scheduled.
Yeah, so a haircut, yeah. So I'm like I like my again, it's not a crazy thing, but it's just you know, it's a thing that I just never it's one less thing I have to think about. And for something that would always give me at least some level of anxiety and annoyance because and procrastination because I'd be like, I'm not in the mood right now.
Mm.
And now it's like, no, just it's like look forward to 4 or 5 o'clock, depending on how things landed. On a Monday, off we go.
I'm
One
kind
less
of
thing to think about.
jealous. I'm kind of jealous. I haven't been able to find that sort of stability since I left
Mhm.
Montreal when it came to my hair.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Yeah. I've had people try to be that person for me, like really try hard, and I'm like, I don't trust you that way, man. Because I'm someone that's very much like, I have decided And on a scale of 1 to Crayola, we're going purple. And then that's the color that I want. And that is the aim that I go for. And if it is not Crayola enough, I will be like, nope, gotta do it again. And then finally that person gets it right, and I move. And I gotta find another person that's not gonna make me bald. And then I gotta find another person. And it's been like that over and over again. And
Without costing
I think,
$600.
yeah, exactly. And so I actually, like, towards the end of when I was living in Philly, there was a hairdresser called Carrie. She did a good job, but I just wasn't getting, like, the reds weren't red enough. It wasn't bloody enough for whatever it was.
You're bringing her paint samples from Lowe's.
Yeah, I'm like, this
this,
is what
this.
this shade. Yeah. And I try to do this like maintenance thing, but I'm also very much burdened with the you're gonna spend money on yourself? Are you stupid? Don't do that. That thing's like 60, 70, $80. That is very costly. You should spend it on XYZ. And so it has been perpetually that. Find the person, don't spend the money, lose the person, you're a fucking idiot. And so like, I keep going around in circles. And I found someone who was really enthusiastic in Michigan, but I only went once, and it was part of like this gift card thing that Jake got because he was like, you haven't had other people give you a massage in 2,000 years, so this gift card is for a massage at this hairdresser and spa place. So go to the spa place, get a massage. And I show up, I'm like,
Treat yourself.
I want my hair done instead of the massage. And the person ended up being like super dope. And then we ended up moving. So I feel like I'm going to end up at one of those cut places or those clip places. Or I'm just going to end up being like, I'm grown. I'll shave my head. Like, who needs a haircut at this point? Let's just keep shaving it. So
I do appreciate that.
envy
Like,
that.
there's a point of age that I'm finding, or at least like the idea of I'll just dye it myself seems very much like, this is so much work, and I'm gonna make the entire bathroom bright red, and then it'll just keep staining the towels for the next 6 months.
It was fine for a while when my hair was much shorter. The longer my hair gets, I need help. I cannot reach the back of my head. And so when we were in Wisconsin, poor Jake was tasked with helping me twice for that. But then it looks like you slaughtered a lamb, like, on every 6 weeks, or when the harvest moon rises, you slaughter the lamb, and then, and it would come out fine, but it is such a hassle. And then you would call around and try to find someone, and they'd be like, oh, yeah, we could totally set that for you. No problem, $200. It's like, you bitch. You know damn right this is $12 worth of product. I don't want to pay you $200 for this. But it is time consuming. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I hope that I find that somewhere. It is very exhausting. Uh, I need a haircut, and I'm just tired of doing my hair. And in the last place that I went to, I told her I want to have my hair completely gray. She goes, you don't have enough gray hair. Your hair's not coming out gray enough for you to just go full bore
You're like,
silver,
did I
right?
stutter?
No, but like I got her. Like I'm not quite
Yeah.
there to embrace the golden girl age yet, and so you need to pick another thing. So I was like, so just strip it and start stripping it. I'll just go platinum. I am completely aware that my hair will turn yellow the first 2 or 3 times. And I'm telling her, I understand these things.
I'm willing to live with
I'm
this
willing because I
choice.
don't care. I've done every color you can imagine. Just let me go through this process. I am paying you. Do the thing I asked, please. Bitch, please do it. And she did it. And I had to put purple in my hair or like a fuchsia, and it came out nice, but I was very upset. And then I got annoyed and I just fucking dyed it back to my natural hair color. And now I don't care about anything anymore. Just shave my goddamn head. God damn it, Phil. Why'd you have to bring up the hairdresser?
I'm
This
sorry.
is a pain point for me. Anyway, creature of immeasurable
So
habit. Please go
yeah,
on.
no, so the this has been my kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say my fortress of solitude, but it's definitely been like something I don't have to think about for the last 14 and a half years. And then last week I get a phone call from the salon, and I'm assuming it's a, hey, uh can you move an hour this way or an hour that way or a week this way or a week that way? And instead, the receptionist I've known for 14 years goes,
She's leaving.
hey, she's leaving in 2 weeks.
Oh
So, and I'm like, need a moment. Hold on.
Everybody
So
hurts.
yeah, and the thing is that
Yeah.
like no, after 14 years I have like no, I have this woman's personal home phone number, and during COVID, like a year into COVID, she texted me and goes, "Do you want me to come to your house?" I'm like, "Could you?" And she's like, "I'll be right over," and she cut my hair in the backyard.
So is this like a retirement thing, or is this like I'm leaving because I'm opening my own
She got
salon?
a no. So she's been doing this for a very long time, and she's not much. I mean, she's maybe like a couple years older, so same age bracket as we are.
Mhm.
And so I saw her today, and I didn't want to launch into it first, but I gave her this look, and she's like, "I know," and I'm like, anyway. So I like we catch up about some other things, and then
Mhm.
we get this a pregnant pause, and I go, "What the hell?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How could you? Okay, plot
And
twist. She
she's like,
moves.
"How could you? What gives you the right?" And
So,
she got an offer
uh-huh.
somewhere very close to home. So right now she's commuting like half an hour, 40 minutes. But she has two young kids. And she, out of the blue, she's like, wasn't even looking, just happened to be like crossing paths with somebody. And they're like, hey, I have this thing and it's near your house. Um, how about you come over here
Mhm.
and do just color for way more money
Mhm.
and be 5 minutes from your house.
That does
Yeah.
sound like a scrumptious offer. Can't blame her.
And she was like, I like the kids are getting to that point where she's like, it's 40 minutes closer to the house, which means I can work a little bit longer and I can just, when the kids get off the bus, I can just peace out and be home in 5 minutes.
Pause.
Pausing.
Where does this put her in relation to where you are located?
So as part of this, she's also no longer cutting men's hair because her hands shake. And apparently last week she clipped a guy's
Oh.
ear, and then the week before she accidentally buzzed a bald spot into the back of her son's head and was
Well,
like, she hasn't hurt me in 14 and a half years. I pointed that out. She's like, you've just been lucky.
okay, so
And
yeah,
so
she's
she's
not
like
no more
coloring,
buzzing and being
no
close
more
to.
buzzing and holding scissors. She's like, if I'm just doing color and mixing color and doing that stuff and somebody else does the cutting and stuff.
Has she referred you to?
So she has, I mean, I've got my vacation backups, and she was like, yes, so stick to the vacation backups, like stick to this
Oh,
person and
okay.
this person. And she's like, I promise I will leave a little postcard digitally in your file so that the other people know what to do to your head.
Yeah,
I'm
please
like,
don't
I
show up
love
with a
you.
diaper this time. It was awkward. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, please don't show up like a street urchin this time. So, yeah.
Okay.
So, because I immediately was like, what the hell? She started the whole like, oh, but this, and I'm like, I'll follow you wherever you go, right?
Yeah,
I
where
don't care.
do you
I
have
don't care how
room in the
much I need to
basement?
drive. I know where you live. It's not that far.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, no, no.
I
She's like, I
can't do
can't.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
like, I can't do it anymore. I'm like,
Local
okay.
man gets jugular cut because he forced forced hairdresser to give him a haircut. Yeah, it's fine. It's okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
Well.
change is weird because I didn't react like there was no anxiety. It's just like I felt like I was in good hands, but I was just like,
Oh,
oh, kind of an
bummer.
end of an era. I mean, because I pointed out to her earlier today when she was cutting my hair, I'm like 14 and a half years, like you've been there for a lot of my life, and there's a lot of context. Like
Yeah.
I am admittedly one who despises hairstylist small talk. And the nice thing about working with her is we didn't have to. And then when we did, it was always more fun conversation. And because I'm not one, like, I don't know, you've known me long enough. I don't want to talk about
How
the
are the
weather. Not
children?
going to
Blah
talk
blah
about the
blah. Yeah.
sports or whatever. I will just be like, went
Excuse
to a
me.
party last week, did this. It was crazy. And she'll be like, oh, I was redoing my pool, and one of the guys who was putting the concrete fell in my pool. It was weird. I had to call an ambulance. It's like it's
So
not.
all the non-generic like filler
Yeah,
conversations that you feel
yeah.
obliged to.
No
Yeah.
14 and a half years of filler conversation. Just from the beginning, it was just like, oh, what do you do? Like at one point, her her brother-in-law worked at my aforementioned, well, in the restaurant of the aforementioned building. And
Mm.
it was very weird because she was just like, hey, my brother-in-law's getting a job at blah. And I was like, oh, that's wild. So
Mm.
yeah, I mean, small world, but it was very
But
funny. And then
can we just like for a second pause here
sure,
because you have emergency hairdressers?
I said
N-
emergency. I said
well, it's a
backup.
backup hairdresser.
Well, yeah. So when she goes on vacation, she'd be like, "I trust these two people. Pick one," and I'd be like, "That one." She's like,
Yeah,
"Excellent."
I understand how it works. I'm saying, what are you bitching about? I just
Well, I
finished
know,
telling you I don't even have a hairdresser,
I
and
know,
you're
and
like, damn
I've
it,
got
I
two
gotta go
backups.
behind door number two. Like, what are you complaining
Well,
about?
because I mean, the last time I was behind door number two was 9 months ago when she went to Caribbean. So I'm like, it's not like it happens more than once or twice a year.
You'll live.
And then the best part is that she like immediately like the next time she sees me, she's like, "Did she screw it up a lot?" And I'm like, "No, no, no, it was fine." It's like the
Okay,
same
okay.
thing. She whenever they would hire a new shampoo person, they'd wash my hair, and then she'd be like, "She's new. How bad was it?" And I'm like, "No, no, no, it was fine." She's like, "No, no, dude, stop bullshitting me. Just tell me how bad it was."
She scratched me, mom. Yeah.
She,
Yeah.
and then, but then she like the ones that have been there a while. Same thing. She'll be like, "Oh no, so and so's here. Like you're good. Whatever." She'll give you that head massage you like. Like
Is she
okay.
trying to talk to me about the weather? Yeah, okay, okay. Well, best of luck.
Yeah, yeah, no, but I'm just yeah. As a topic, it was just like I felt like when I was told this, it seemed like a more of like I expected myself in review was like, boy, there's far less anxiety about this than I thought I'd have.
I
So
did
weird to
notice.
have, I guess, the threat of like having a habit that you've had for so long that you didn't think about, and suddenly you're like,
I don't think many people could say they've done anything for 14 years, let
I
alone get
know,
the same hairdresser to give you a haircut.
I know,
So I
it's a
can
little weird,
understand
a lot
how it
weird.
could be jarring, but you what?
I said a lot weird.
Eh,
The, mm,
eh, it's whatever, good for you. But I don't know if you guys have noticed, but over the course of the last other 2 or 3 episodes, because that's all we've done, there is a portion that we're starting to call Philip's palate cleansers. What are you drinking today, Phil?
so today I have Suntory Japanese whiskey just on
Mhm.
ice. So
Mhm.
I figured I
It
didn't
looks
know
like
if you'd
very
noticed because
mild apple juice.
yeah, very mild apple juice. So paint strippery apple juice though.
Not good?
It is good. I took some liking to whiskey. It was introduced to me only like 5 or 6 years ago when I was like I had never thought of it before. It was always Mr. Beer, and then slowly started dabbling in things. So
Do
yes,
you enjoy having to get used to something to drink? Is that a thing?
it
I
wasn't
can't get into
necessarily a
certain
get used
alcohols.
to. It was just like I had never tried it, or at least what I had tried in the past was not good. So there was a difference between like drinking trash for like 6.99 a liter to like, oh no, this bottle of whiskey was $65. And then you're like, oh wait, this is not like paint stripper. This actually tastes good and is smooth. So that was, I guess, the difference. I
I
got
don't
it
know,
as a
man.
gift like 5, 6 years ago, and I was like, huh. So this is what it's supposed to taste like. And actually, a friend's birthday party a little while back, somebody brought some very expensive tequila, and my only experience before that was usually in a club with electronic music, and we were doing shots of tequila, and those never
Mm.
ended well, and I always felt like somebody was pouring acetone down my throat. So when it was
But they
suggested,
were shots, so it was
they were
quickly over.
shots, so it was quickly over. But fast forward, 25 years, and somebody brings a very expensive 3-digit plus bottle of tequila to the party and pours a shot, and I'm like, wait, this tasted like maple syrup. Like this went down my throat smoothly. This is supposed to be how tequila tastes? Oh boy. Okay, I can't afford this, but
I must have been drinking turpentine mixed with ass and Windex my whole life because I cannot get behind any liquor anymore. I
yeah.
can't do it. I don't like it. I don't want to wait for the fucking taste of alcohol to evaporate for me to taste the sultry notes of woodchuck and whatever Chesterfield, like whatever fucking combination of shit
Do you
people
smell the?
fucking.
Do you taste the burning tire fire next door? Actually, I do.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, subtle hints of like,
Subtle
squash,
hints
and I'm
of
like, I don't fucking
Goodyear
care.
and
Yeah, I don't care.
um,
I know what that
but
is.
no, I like definitely never on that level, but I definitely discovered like, oh, there are smoother things, and I gave them a chance, and I still don't think I'd ever be like. Also, like, you'll never catch me buying a mixed drink at like a restaurant. I don't know, like that still doesn't fly, um, but like I said, I was just like, I had recently gotten some books, and I'm like, you know what? Let me dabble, and I think I subscribe to one of those subscription box services, and they mix around, and was one
Oh, you
subscription
have?
package. Yeah. And it's like
Okay,
take it
okay,
or leave it. Yeah. And one of
okay.
them was 2 glasses, some mixer stuff, and a book about whiskey. And I'm like, okay, well, let me just have it. And it's like simple syrup, and it's got like 3 or 4 recipes on the side, and like one of them's from Manhattan, which is, I think I did last podcast or the one before. I'm like, I have bourbon in the house, and then I have the simple syrup. Let me just mix these and toss in an ice cube or two, and like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
Not bad. Mm.
Yeah, but again, it's definitely like, I will have this one while we talk because I work tomorrow.
Well, yeah. But do you find that you don't drink a lot, so thus your tolerance is very minimal, meaning if you
Yeah,
had 2 or 3, you'd be toasty. You'd be
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So
No. I think the only thing that I would possibly be able to consume at this point without gagging is maybe an amaretto cranberry.
yeah,
That's the only thing I can really think of. And if I go for fruity drinks, it's gonna be like a Malibu
yeah,
pineapple.
something
Yeah.
like, I
I
don't
have
want
been
to
more
taste the rum.
tolerant
I just want,
towards
yeah.
beer though. And that
Mm-hmm.
started because of the whole Blue Moon thing when we went to Azteca. That's the only reason I even care to try ice cold beer is because of Blue Moon. That's it. And also because when I used to go to Cuba, they would just water down all the beer anyway. So it was very
Yeah.
tolerable from my end. I didn't have to like I don't know. I suck at that. I'm not a
Some
very
beer can be, I don't know. I find that like beer can be acidic, and that might be an I'm getting old thing as well. Like, I can have 1 or 2, but then it's like, oh, if I've had 6, my stomach is like, why did you drink so much sour things, you fool? Um,
I
yeah,
don't know. I can't do the whole like, oh, have you tried this? And this one has hops, and this one's the caramel skunk with a twist of lime. And I'm
no.
like, I don't
I mean, I
fucking
know
know
what I
what any
like.
of this means.
I've gotten to this point of like, I know what I like, and that's where I stick. So, the like wine's definitely, I love the when people suggest to bring wine to people's houses, and I bust out the Vivino app and start taking pictures in the aisles. Hey, what's got 4 stars? So, the look you're giving me, if the audience can't see, is the, I'm sorry, the what app? Um,
The what app? You said Vivino app?
Vivino, yes, Vivino.
And we are not
So,
sponsored by this app tonight.
we are not sponsored by Vivino. Yes.
Okay.
We receive no compensation for this free app that I use.
Please go on.
Um,
Hi, baby.
but I loved it because I can't remember where I found this. It may have been that super internet personality, Gary Vaynerchuk, that I may
Oh
have picked
boy.
this up from. But this was like 8, 10 years ago.
Mhm.
Like, I think he brought it up. Like, I could care less. Like, but
Mhm.
regardless, I found it exciting because you took a picture of the label, the computers in the cloud did their thing, and then it came back and gave you like the social media like feedback page for the
I
that thing.
think I know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, and it would like be like, okay, so the general gist about this is this way. It's got these notes. It suggests to do it this way. And so whenever I'm like, oh, you should bring a bottle of wine to this dinner party, it's like, let's go through. Oh, what are we eating? Beef? Okay, hold on. All right, I need beef,
Oh
and let's start
yeah.
taking pictures of labels at the knee level and below, so it doesn't cost me $90. And let's find the
Knee
one that's got the
level and
most.
below.
Yeah,
Yeah.
knee level and below on the shelf. It's like everybody else is standing looking at wines. I'm on a freaking one of those roller carts, picking $6 bottles off the bottom shelf, going, how many stars do you have, little girl? Oh, 6?
I don't
Lovely. You're
know.
coming home.
admittedly, like throughout my whole life, there's only been one wine that I could drink, and it's a dessert wine that I discovered like 15 years ago, 20
Do
years
tell.
ago. It's just called Bartenura. It's a freaking red bottle. It's a dessert
Hmm.
wine. It's slightly bubbly, and that's it. I don't know nothing about it.
No
I don't know why
prosecco
it
for you.
tastes good. I can't do it, man. I
No
can't do
champagne.
it. And even when I was growing up and I spent all that time in Italy, my grandfather, like religiously, oh, we just finished dinner. I'm gonna take this really beautiful peach from the vineyard, and I'm going to get this peach, chop it up, put it in this tiny little glass of wine, soak my peaches in the wine, and then he would be like, "Here, have some," and I would be like, "Ugh," and then I wouldn't do it, and then he would try again, night after night, and I just never got into any type of wine. And then when I started working at bars, and then I eventually owned one, I was just drinking hard liquor, but I drank so much of it that now I can't even smell it. And I never liked beer. The beer bottle was always there on location to catch me spitting up whatever it is I didn't want to get hammered on. That's what that beer for. So there was a Budweiser bottle always there catching whatever the hell people paid for. At that point, I would have been trashed after like half an hour. I can't do an 8 hour shift if you keep
Yeah.
feeding me shots. So yeah, I would wash it down with Bud. I don't know, man. My mom liked beer. She used to do like what do you call it? Beer chicken. Shove like a whole can of beer up a chicken's ass. That's always delicious.
Oh
But I
yeah.
can't do
Beer can
the
chicken. I've never
yeah, I
made
can't
that.
do the alcohol. Oh, it's delicious.
Is it?
But yeah, I can't get it's so good. Yeah, it is good. But I'm also biased because literally anything my mom makes, I'd be like, oh, she makes the best rocks. Like I don't care. My
This
mom's
soup with
spaghetti and
shoes
mud
is
is
amazing.
delightful. Yeah, exactly. Have you ever tasted the boot, the sole of this boot? It's delightful. She just does something with it. Yeah. So bias aside, I always try to. But even with an app like that, maybe it would help me find similar ranking dessert wines that maybe I would try to branch and be like, I'll try this one because it's apparently similar to Bartenura. But I can't do it. I don't know why. I suck.
Yeah.
I suck. But for me, like my drink of choice would be coffee. That's about
Still
it.
tea.
I'm
I don't know.
boring.
I've tried coffee. I can't. I don't know. I always settle on tea. So hot
Tea is
brown
good, but I
water
like
as
unique
yeah.
teas. Hot brown water. Yeah, but when you say you tried to have coffee, are you talking about fucking American piss water? Because I'm gonna be very upset. Or are you talking about a nice espresso?
No, I mean I've tried. I think my extent is I've tried to do my child likes to do like French press coffee and stuff. So I've
Okay.
let's see here. I've armed her with all the necessary tools to do both a like and it's a nice French press and
Mhm.
like scoops and we've bought good coffee like not from the grocery store. And so
Mhm.
she will make herself like actually impressively very simple. Like she'll just do like a French press coffee with like just a little bit of creamer. And it's like no
Mhm.
weird like 18 pounds of sugar. Like don't get me wrong, like every teenager, this one is like Starbucks, put it in my veins. But she is,
Oh yeah.
tolerant of like, oh no, but I do like coffee for the caffeine and not tea. Um, but so I've done that and I also have stuff for pour over with just filters and stuff if she ever wants that because occasionally she does.
Mhm.
But
But on your
but yeah,
end,
that's the
what have
extent.
you
Like if I
attempted?
done no, so I've had the stuff out of the French press. I've had pour over, and think I don't think I've had espresso before. Yeah,
Watch your mouth.
I know.
Espresso, not
Espresso.
X.
There's no X in
And not
espresso.
it's not from Spain. You don't need to say espresso like that. It's just S. Espresso,
Espresso. The
not
E is
X.
silent.
Espresso. The X, there's no X. God damn it. This is the end of this episode. I am shutting
We're
everything
done.
down. No, it's espresso.
Get out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
I've
So
never had one. So
was that so you've never had an espresso? Okay, so then I can't fault you. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't.
No, I mean,
Well,
I
I
don't.
can't
Again, it's like
really.
I don't know if I should. Definitely, I understand the rules of like don't go to a Starbucks, but I'm like I don't really have anybody in my life who
You
is,
don't
you
really
know,
have listen, there are worse coffees to drink than going to Starbucks. If
yeah,
I don't feel like making myself a latte, which is basically an espresso with too much milk, I will go to Starbucks because all I care about is the espresso and the milk. I don't care about the mocha chocolate and whatever, like,
yeah,
you know, three beans and vanilla, whatever. I don't care about that fucking stuff. I just want my espresso with my milk, which, technically speaking, an Italian coffee is just an espresso. I never had one alone at Starbucks. So while I did have it with milk, I can tell you that if I had it alone, it probably wouldn't be the worst thing to drink.
yeah. Hmm.
But there's so many little cafes nearby. Isn't there a bunch of cafes nearby?
There's a couple. Yeah, yeah.
Like
I mean, I could
especially
always
near
go
like
in.
King of Prussia and that whole
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
Like you should have
It's
like
even down
some.
my
Yeah,
yeah. Yes, like
yeah.
Dunkin', for
Dunkin's is
example.
like
Yeah.
that's what when I say American piss water, that's what I'm referring
You're like
to.
six
Like just
pounds of
the
sugar with a little bit of brown milk.
Yeah, yeah. America runs on Dunkin'. It just translates to America has diabetes. Here you go for 2.95. Excuse me.
Would you
So,
like a donut with that?
yeah, exactly. So while I am not a fan of paying $5 for coffee, there's worse coffee than basic
Yeah.
latte at Starbucks. But yeah, I mean, go to a little coffee shop. Turkish coffee is strong. Greek coffee is a little bit more strong. It's also bitter. Italian
I
espresso is
think
a
it's the
little
bitterness
creamier.
that
It could be
always
a little
got me
smoother.
whenever I was trying it. That it's because I don't like bitter beer. I don't like IPAs and things like that. So
You can have
maybe
a
it's the
cafe corretto since you like alcohol. Do you like
mm,
black licorice? Because for me, like that will ruin
no,
friendships. Okay, cool.
no.
So, cafe corretto, you can put
I should have thought about that answer before I said it. So like,
you're
wait,
like,
which
God damn it,
direction
I
should I
said
be
it too
going
quick.
with this? If I said yes, is that a problem?
So far, this episode has died twice. Okay, so cafe corretto is basically alcohol in a shot of espresso or a half shot
Okay.
of alcohol in espresso. So a lot of people they like putting sambuca, and sambuca is just black licorice. Dunkin' slant. Don't start with me, Jersey. Okay, don't start with me. We're not doing this again. Okay, so you can do a splash of Bailey's. That might take the bitterness away.
Yeah. I do
I,
like
I
Bailey's.
don't
That
know
was
if you
that
like
was I think
Bailey's. Well, then
episode
there you
one or
go.
two was a very healthy glass of Bailey's.
An espresso that's not burnt, but you wouldn't know the
Yeah.
difference anyway. With a
You're
small
like
splash of
you
Bailey's.
smooth brained fool.
No,
You wouldn't know
you
the
wouldn't. You wouldn't know the difference anyway.
yeah.
What was? I'm picturing you playing Operation now, and you don't know what to hold. What does this do?
It's fine. You don't know the
I'm
difference
sorry.
anyway.
You don't know the difference, you buffoon. Just try it and put a splash of Bailey's.
Listen, you
Eventually, we'll
simpleton.
just start. See, I started the episode with saying peasants. Maybe we're going in the right direction. If you take an espresso and you put a half shot of Bailey's in it, it's going to be too much Bailey's. But maybe that's the way you should start drinking espresso
It's
and then
just
slowly dial it
tone
back.
tone down the Bailey's down.
Or just start with a shot of Bailey's and add espresso.
Just keep pulling the Bailey's
Excuse
back
me.
until it's too bitter, and then go back a notch. I
Yeah,
have this
exactly.
podcast, this YouTuber that I watch that repairs tools and refurbishes them, and I love his phrase of just just crank the bolt down till it goes click, and then just go back after.
Oh,
So it feels
man.
like it's the same thing. Like, yeah, no, just keep pouring Baileys in, or take the Baileys out until it tastes like shit, and then put it back.
Until it tastes like shit. Yeah, and then there you go. There's your. And then I'll be like, "What's your ratio?" And you're like, two
I don't know.
milliliters of espresso,
Do you have an
and
eyedropper?
yeah, exactly. I call this the sneeze. And what we do is we
Yeah.
just like
If you could just
we just sneeze in the direction
after
of
you
the
make the
shot.
last espresso, just put this cup of Bailey's and let a couple of drops fall in.
Yeah, there you go. Just do
Oh,
that. Well, now I know we'll have to get an espresso, and then I'll have to line up. We'll end up shopping around until I'm like, okay, you like this one? You'll be like, no, not really. We're going to the next place until you like it. And you're like, but we've already been through 6 bottles of Bailey's. I don't
I have
care.
so much caffeine, and I'm a
There's
little
gonna be a
drunk.
coffee that you like. There's a place called David's Tea, and I haven't purchased tea from there in quite some time. But they had really nice, like different flavors of tea. And I think
Yeah.
one that was really really good was the white chocolate raspberry tea. I think I could have drank that every day. And then for some reason I ran out and I just never bought any ever again. And I was like, maybe I don't like tea. Maybe I drank tea because it was convenient. And now it's gone. And now I don't care about tea anymore. Back to coffee.
Yeah, that I've been
Oh, okay.
bringing an adult beverage to all of our episodes and mixing it
I
up every
noticed. I
single
noticed
time.
that you brought a
Yeah.
beverage.
So figured I'd
I
bring that to light.
admittedly I don't know, and I apologize to keep coughing into the mic, but we laughed and now I'm absolutely exhausted. that was, and I was like, we had a chuckle, and I'm like, I
I
got
love how like
COVID air
I don't
circulation.
think we've had the dogs on the podcast before. So I love how like you're just holding like this infant in your lap
So
who's just half eyes open, just I'm sleepy, mommy.
I
Kisses.
know, but he, so I had the door closed, for privacy. I'm trying to make sure there's no noise and anything like that. And he's whimpering outside, so I sent Jake a text message. I was like, just open the door and let him in. Like they're gonna start scratching at it, you know. And now Sophie always puts herself like, there's 2 beds behind me side by side, but she's like,
No. Why would you? No,
no,
of course not.
I choose where I sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
he's
like there's
just,
6 beds in the
if
house.
I
Where do
don't
you
look at him
sleep? I
for,
don't know. Under the refrigerator. Thanks.
she's a couch monster. If I don't pay attention to this dog and I don't make eye contact with him, every 30 seconds he's going to try to get my attention somehow. Either by putting his head on my chest, by touching my arm, by licking my arm. Hello? That's it. It's because, oh, you're not paying attention to me. So please, mother.
Yeah.
Then that's what's
Mine
happening.
is nowhere to be found. Usually he's behind me on the floor, but I think he's child is
I've
upstairs, and
never
I think
seen
he.
Indy in any of our calls. I've only ever heard him. I've
There
never
was
seen him.
once, but I think he was out of frame. That he was back in that corner. He sat down there once, but it's not his usual spot. So it's yeah. He also
Yeah,
is a creature of habit.
I think that these guys start begging about an hour to 90 minutes out before it's time for them to consume any type of nutrients. So 6:30 hits, I'd be pretty lucky that they don't start, but it is currently 40 minutes into 7 here, and these are not love kisses. These are, if I gotta lick another 50 times, I'm eating your hand, mother. I am hungry. So basically, oops, I said the wrong word. Jesus Christ, I shouldn't have said that. So I can't say HUNGRY
No,
because that's a word.
yeah, you
That's a
can't
word
say
that
the
they
W
recognize.
word or the T
I
word. I
can't
can't
say the
say the
W
T
word or the
word.
FOOD. Sylvana's been comforting me in the last 30-ish days. Of course. Give her hugs back. Don't you dare look at me like that. So anyway, we're about 20 minutes out from being able to give them FOOD, and that is what they're waiting for. And they're going to very much look forward to their W, which, by the way, I know that we missed a week because I was sick, and again, thanks everyone for your patience. But the last 4 or 5 W's we've taken, I don't know if that 8th follower on our podcast is the neighbor that parks his ass on the sidewalk, but that car has been in the driveway tucked in ever since I took a picture. I have not seen that car back on the sidewalk. So, for anyone that has no idea what the hell I'm talking about, the last episode we discussed how we take a W around the block and there's one particular car that is always half of it on the sidewalk. And Phil was suggesting that it's possible that it's a double garage, so the car just stays back so that the other cars can move. Blah blah blah. I was of the mind of move your fucking car. I don't care what your reasons are. I haven't seen it there since. It's been in the driveway on the grass still, a little bit on its own grass. Not that I give a shit because I don't walk on your grass, but clear sidewalk, clear. I'm sorry. There's no other word for sidewalk. It has the W word incorporated in it. I
Side W,
you
side
know
WALK.
I could say it in other languages. Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but that's if we circle
Side
back to the
W's.
the habit thing. I think early on in our maybe our first podcast test, I was telling you it's just like the wildest thing that mine has timed himself to the departure of my child for school in the morning and the return.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be like he would plant himself in front of the front door like 10 minutes ahead of time. Like, you can't tell time. You don't even have thumbs. Plant his butt in front of the door, wait for her to walk in, and then just immediately like assault her. In fact, at one point, I could swear that in the mornings, he correlated the fact that I fed him after she left. So he would
Mm-hmm.
try to herd her out of the house. Like, what are you doing? Because he'd like circle around
Okay, you
behind her
go
and like,
now.
you're like, yeah, yeah, you go
Okay, you have
now.
a good day.
Come on, you
Bye.
leave,
It's
I
time for
eat.
me to
That's
eat,
how
obviously.
this system works. So now that she has a car and she's driving to school, the schedule's kind of been turned up on its head. And so he like today he and then she's off this week for Thanksgiving break. So he like meandered downstairs very confused and then just fell asleep like 6 feet to my right on the in the middle of the living room floor. And I'm like 2 hours into my workday and I look over and he's still asleep and I'm like, okay, yeah, you really should go outside at this point.
Oh my god.
So
And honestly, we've been messing them up all week too because our schedule's all over the place. Um, geez, I can feel myself getting like exhausted and my voice straining. It's pretty crazy now. But because of the sleeping the majority of the day or sleeping in actually, I'm not waking up at 7 in the morning anymore because I'll wake up at 7 and I'll make sure that I'm at the gym at 7:30 and then by the time I come back it's 9:05. That's when I give them their FOOD. The day starts for them, blah blah blah. Now it's been like, wow, I slept in until 9:30 because I'm absolutely spent, or I've been going to sleep at 2 a.m. Like my schedule is all messed up because of this COVID. I pass out randomly on the sofa, like I'm sitting at my desk and I'm like, oh, that was a fun thing to watch. I'm just like just falling
how,
asleep
I guess
everywhere.
here's a thought. How concerned are you about, because you haven't been to the gym since you got COVID, right?
No,
So is there any kind, I mean,
I
if you're getting this
have
winded,
it would be 2 full weeks.
yeah.
So here's the fun thing about this because you and I have had this discussion already. And it was in the first episode that is lost in a time capsule that nobody has listened to. Um,
Recording lost of time.
I don't do anything cardio. Yeah, it's gonna end up on the B sides at some point in season 3. I don't do cardio. My cardio is walking to the gym, and so by the time I get there, I'm doing mostly muscle. So I will probably be winded, but not winded the same as if I was on a treadmill for 45 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, if you were just running in place, yeah, yeah, or on a bike or something. Got it. Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay.
So I don't know.
So
We'll see. I
hopefully,
told her
yeah,
like,
it's either
listen, I'm
that
not coming
or
in.
hopefully it helps. And if by taking deeper breaths you get your, yeah.
I am sweating. That's how tired I am. And it's like, oh, you decided to get up and put pants on, take a nap, you know?
You're like,
Or you know what?
I
At
need a
this
nap.
rate,
Right here's
just don't
good.
change. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Here's good. But I do look forward to taking them for their W at night, especially over the last week. It sounds silly, but like we're still isolated, so I can't go anywhere. I can't go do any groceries. I can't like, someone showed up this morning to come and pick up something that they left with Jake, and I was not going to open the door, and then I thought to myself, actually, I got the vid. I can open the door and be like, "Get off my lawn. I got COVID," and then use it as a weapon. And I was like, "Nah." But I was like, "Who is this person?" And then when I opened the door, he got like within 6 feet, and I was like, who are you? And then, he explained that he was for Jake and he had to pick something up. And I was like, okay, I don't want to get you sick. And I closed the door on him and I opened the garage door and I went to go get Jake. And I was like, fuck. Like, we can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. I wanted to go buy something. We can't go to even Walmart. Everything's down the street and I can't go anywhere. So when we take our W's, I look forward to it because at least it's some fresh air. It's
Outdoor
something.
time. Yeah.
Outdoor time, yeah. And now we can't even complain about the people that park on the sidewalk. Oh, let me tell you something else about some dumbass fucking neighbors. Who the hell puts, what are they called? Takis? Those like chips, those spicy chips, all
Oh
over the
yeah.
goddamn lawn?
Why would you? I don't know.
Because you want to poison dogs, obviously, because there's no animals that live in the area. I don't know why you would do that.
Why waste perfectly crappy
But
food?
I'm.
Like when you
I don't
say
know. I don't
on
know.
the lawn, do you mean like just somebody dropped a
Sprinkled on
bag
the
and
lawn.
oh, okay, so not like it, oh, you've dropped a bag accidentally and didn't clean it up. Like you walked around the lawn
No.
like it was seed. And
Intentionally placed. Yeah, like you're no out of grass seed. Use Takis. Like that. Like that.
drought resistant
Just
tacky grass. Wow,
Takis are the
okay.
new
That's
mulch. Like
yeah, that seems
yeah, standing up when I
weird.
had COVID put me into a 45-minute nap. See, Nova gets it. They wanted to grow a taki tree, whatever the hell they did. There is a certain amount of exasperating cluelessness that emits from people that I meet over the course of the last decade. I don't know what it is, but all of the freaks are out and they all happen to be fucking brain dead. Do
And
you
if they're
remember
not doing
Scholastic?
burnouts
Because I
on
do.
top of your speed bumps or parking in the sidewalk, they're sprinkling tackies on the lawn.
Tune in Thursday as we discuss.
Yeah, like this week's episode of My Neighbors.
Oh my God, right? We did
uh,
say that, this was pretty much going to be just finger pointing twice a week. So, yeah. So for now, I guess what I can take away from this is that you say espresso, which, like, I'm going to cry for at least 45 minutes after we hang up this call because I didn't think you were that type of person, Philip. And, and, yeah, yeah. Oh, speaking of, I know I had brought up Azteca like 20 minutes ago. For some reason, you know what popped up into my head last week?
mm,
When I went to Azteca to eat and we were all there and we were doing that work thing and I got food poisoning. Did I tell you
okay.
about that? We were
I
all
mean,
there together.
I
It was
haven't
like a
written down every
work
time my
thing.
friends have gotten food poisoning, but
I've only ever had food poisoning
the
once.
one time.
It should be the only thing that you have written down, quite frankly, is when I had food poisoning. No other note matters. Yeah, I was thinking about that time because I I was stopping in the middle of the road and just violently puking while people honked behind me. And then I went to eat at Azteca the next day for lunch with Wriggle.
Like,
Yeah.
don't
I
poison
didn't
me a second
care.
time, you
And then
idiot.
no, I remember him telling me like, "Are you crazy?" And I was like, "If I don't do it, I'll never eat at that place again." And I like it there. I
Yeah.
just, I won't eat XYZ again. Yeah, and for some reason that popped into my head last week. Azteca.
Yeah, I haven't been to that place in
Maybe I was hungry.
ages. Still there. So,
Is it?
still, oh yeah, it's still there. Still,
What
they've
would you say?
repainted
That's
the building.
like a mid Mexican
Yeah,
place, right?
yeah,
Like the Applebee's of Mexican foods.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, right around there.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I mean,
Then we're in
they're not a
agreement.
chain, but they're a chain locally, I guess. Because I think there's more than one of them, but they're not like, yeah.
Buddy
So,
guy,
but
you're
if we
too
want to talk about chain
early.
restaurants, and I don't know if you, I will brace for your opinion on this, but so at a nearby shopping plaza, there used to be, I can't remember. Actually, I think it was an Applebee's. And the Applebee's disappeared one day. And we thought nothing of it because I haven't stepped foot in an Applebee's in like 25 years.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
then a building appears. And for the longest time, I thought, oh, they're just moving the Starbucks because there's a Starbucks down the street, but it's in a terrible location, and the parking lot is tiny. And every time you drive by, it just looks um, like a just massive traffic hazard. Like the drive-through line wraps around the building 3 times. It's like this
Mm.
Ouroboros eating its own tail every time you drive by on that street. So I figured, oh, they've learned their lesson and they're going to open a properly sized building with a lot of room for drive-throughs so they can, you know,
Okay.
perpetuate capitalism and coffee. And
Uh,
soon a sign appeared,
Coffee. Hmm.
and they're building the goddamn Krispy Kreme. I know. I don't think the
Okay.
children have noticed. I don't think my
Confessions.
yes.
I've never had Krispy Kreme.
You've never had Krispy Kreme? Krispy Kreme is good. When we were driving back from Florida last year, we discovered one on one of the off ramps in Maryland, and we stopped and had warm Krispy Kreme donuts right out of the oven. And it was
Okay.
really damn good.
I never. Okay, so let me correct that. I've had a stale Krispy Kreme donut, which was obviously not. Or maybe this has happened twice, where I've eaten a Krispy Kreme donut, but it has been stale, and it obviously did not live to any of the Krispy Kreme hype. But
Mm-hmm.
I've never gone out of my way to, behold in these fresh donuts and then enjoy them for all their splendor. And
Yeah.
I have never been motivated to do so either because all I've ever sampled was dry ass fucking donuts. I was like, whatever, these are just gross.
Yeah.
You
And
guys losing your minds for?
I think the last time I had any Krispy Kreme was back in Arizona because there used to be one at a mall near work. So occasionally was requested by my significant other to bring back like a dozen or half dozen. So I find this funny that they're just like dropping one, 10 minutes from the house now. Be like, well, I mean, it could be worse. So,
By funny, do you mean enticing?
oh yes, very much enticing.
Okie doke. Makes sense to me.
See, I will agree. Our
Okay.
chat is saying that Dunkin' Donuts are better than Krispy Kreme. I feel that Dunkin' Donuts and Krispy Kreme are two separate. I see them as two separate entities as far as donuts go, because Dunkin' has some of my favorite types of donuts in the planet, like Boston cream pie and things like, or yeah, Boston cream pie donuts and things like that, where like you get a lot of like interesting donuts and better donuts. Krispy Kreme does one thing and they do it well. Like I'm not going into Krispy Kreme being like, oh, give me the 9 pack of like these. No, no, like I want the ones that came out of the oven warm. So I see them
I
serving two
have no
separate
dog in this
purposes.
fight.
Yeah, I know. We don't have to have a fight about it, but I'm just saying, is like my opinion. It's like,
No,
I
I'm
feel
just
like
saying I have no
it,
dog in this fight because I really
yeah,
don't have an argument for
you're
it.
like, I don't
I've
like
never
donuts in
had.
the first place, you fools. Like, no, yes, no one can see you turn around
Are
and
you
ignore
done?
me. Yes.
No, I have turned around to ignore you, but pay attention to the dog who's screaming now because it's time. Sophie's like that bright light on stage that starts like pulsating when it's time to wrap it up. Only she's just screaming, "Wrap it up!" Like,
It's not an on-air
that's it.
sign. It's wrap it up.
It's a wrap it up sign. Yeah, exactly. Because what's gonna happen is that if I don't immediately look at her, she's gonna start fighting with her brother and start biting his ankles. And then when he doesn't want to be bothered, she starts screaming. So, I mean, we could maybe entertain the fact to shift this over 15, but it won't make a difference because the more I shift things over, pretty soon I'm gonna be giving them their FOD at 3 in the afternoon, and they're gonna think it's time to W then. So there's no point in shifting anything. She's gonna do the
Speaking
same
of
thing. It
habits,
doesn't
yeah,
matter
we're
what
gonna
time it
stick to.
is.
Yeah.
What are voodoo donuts? Neither can touch voodoo donuts, says
Oh
Nova.
yeah, no,
I've never
voodoo
had.
donuts. I've had voodoo donuts. They're another, yeah, smaller. Yeah, actually, I think they're localized only in specific areas. I've heard of them, and I don't remember where they are, but I've had them before. I want to say they're somewhere in Texas.
What's your favorite donut? Really? I haven't even touched them. What is your favorite donut if you had to eat a donut?
The Boston cream pie donut would probably, if you're like, this is the only one you can have for the rest of your life, I'd probably shoot for that one.
The
But I
Boston
feel like
cream
voodoo,
one?
yeah, but I feel like voodoo donuts. Like I said, I feel like where are they located and why
I'm not
have
a seeker
I?
of donuts, so I sure would not
Yeah,
know. At least I don't have a
that's
motorcycle revving near me. I could if I wanted to,
find
Jersey.
us. Portland, Eugene, Portland, Denver,
Boston cream
Denver,
pie.
Austin. Austin. Yep, this pink one. I have been there once upon a time.
Well, now
I mean, there's two in Austin.
let me check it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Dallas.
looking here. Oh.
Oh, Tempe. Huh.
Yeah, but
Look at that.
these seem to be, so these donuts seem to be specialty dessert type of donuts and not
Yeah, no, we're you're getting into
like
some
it's a
yeah.
chain, but it's not as that caliber
Yeah,
of
they
like
they come with
high-end
bacon on
gourmet.
top. Yes. You get donuts with bacon on top here.
Mm.
There
Wow,
is
wow,
one
wow.
actually.
Wow, wow.
I have now that we're on this donut kick. I will say that one of the for the longest time, like I've kind of had this kind of thing in the back of my skull about going to a award-winning restaurant of some sort. Like I didn't have anything. Like I'm not Mr. like, oh, we
Mhm.
have to go to a Michelin star. But there was once upon a time because I have friends who are in
He
the culinary
says with his
industry.
Vino app. Mhm.
Yes, with my Vivino app. Yes,
Mhm.
not sponsored. Um, that
Not
I
sponsored.
wanted to like. I think I was like aiming for like, you know what, like a James Beard award winning restaurant. Like that would be kind of cool. Like just to like eat because I to me I see chefs as artists. Like this is someone creating something, and
Mhm.
I think it's very
Yes.
cool to like experience something that they're putting their effort into. And so, while wanderings
Yeah.
a couple weekends with Heather, we ran into this antique shop, and across the parking lot is a donut place. And we go into this donut place. Who's I right now? I'm not going to go digging for it, but I will give it to you later to put in the show notes. So we walk across the
Sure.
parking lot and we go get some donuts. And I'm heading to the bathroom, and it catches my eye on the wall that they have a James Beard Award. And I'm like, well, I mean, I said I always wanted to eat at a place
Mhm.
with a James Beard Award, just never pegged it to be donuts.
Donut.
But they were
Hey,
very
it
good.
qualifies.
It does qualify. They were very good.
Like almost
They
cake worthy.
yes, definitely. It was like
Oh, baby.
yeah, it was definitely yeah, like cake worthy because they were like this batter has this and then it's coated with this and yeah, so they were I'll dig up the the thing for show notes. But yeah,
Okay,
it was
what is the
definitely kind of
donut you
neat.
don't like? Is there a donut you don't like? I don't like the jam ones, the ones that just have like a mouthful of jam. Like it's a
I don't
powdered donut and it usually has like
yeah, I mean I think I want to say like
just
just
jam
plain
filled.
powdered donuts. Like jam I'm fine with. Yeah, yeah, filling I'm good with, powdered sugar
No,
I'm good with.
no. Blech.
Like the ones that are like white powdered, those probably just I don't know because I find it's like eating. Have you ever had a spoonful of just straight cinnamon? You know how like it's dehydrating and like this powder that can't absorb liquid?
No, but I know what happens. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
eating white powdered donuts to me tastes like. It's like suck all the
Aren't
moisture
you
out of your
supposed to
mouth.
lick the donut and then eat it?
Then I've been doing it wrong. Sorry,
I
I'm
don't
an
know.
immigrant.
I don't know. Yeah, well,
English is
double
not
for
my
that.
first
Maple
language.
donuts are delicious. On that on that note, I I think I might have some donut homework if I'm allowed to leave my house at some point this fucking week.
There you go.
But yeah, I really appreciate everyone hanging out. I'm gonna go give these dogs some FOD and then take them on their W. He has currently migrated and is now licking my toes, so the desperation has reached an all-time high. And yeah,
Like we're
I'm sorry for the
escalating.
coughing.
Emergency, emergency. What's that?
Yeah, yeah, I said I'm sorry for the coughing. I appreciate
I
you
thought you
dealing
were
with me
mocking me
clearing my
about
throat every
coffee
five
more.
fucking
Okay.
minutes. No, say espresso.
Espresso. Espresso? Is
Thank
that
you.
correct? Espresso? I'm not gonna mock you.
Yes,
Espresso. Okay.
yes, yes, yes. It's not a fucking exit. There's no X in it. All right. Getting really heated now.
Okay.
All right.
Go take a nap.
GG's. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, I'm
Thanks,
probably
everyone.
gonna pass
Bye.
out after. All right. Thank you. Toodaloo.